I'm Candace Parker from Los Angeles, California, and I am here with Ebony. My book is called The Can-Do Mindset, and it is as a result of my nickname growing up. Candace, my parents would shorten it to Can, and I grew up with two older brothers that just excelled at every single thing, and so their shadows were very large and daunting at times. And my mom would always whisper to me, you know, I'm 8 and 11 years younger than my brother. Whenever I felt like I couldn't do something, she would always say can do, so she would extend the nickname. And as time went on, I mean, it got me through tying my shoes, it got me through big time free throws, game winners, walking into rooms that I feel uncomfortable, like that voice in my head just kind of reminds me of where I come from and who I am. And then as I got older, it became kind of an acronym for community, authenticity, negativity, the dash, which is the journey, and seizing and providing and opening doors for opportunity. I felt like at this moment, the time was right to begin writing about my life, but utilize the stories and the perspectives that I've gained throughout my 16-year career playing basketball and use it to kind of, I don't know, identify with people and tell stories through a lens of basketball, but really it's about life. The hardest things to put on the page was when you're talking about just, I think mom guilt for me. In every decision we make as a parent, it's a balance of self versus how is this gonna impact my children? And every major decision in life, it impacts your kids. And so where is the balance of doing what makes you happy and following your dreams while also keeping in mind that you're responsible for this like tiny human and what they do? And so whether it's through relationships, separation, deciding what job to take and pursue, deciding when it's time to hang it up and when it's just too much of a sacrifice for my family. I mean, the list goes on in the book, and I think I battle and struggle with that a lot. And I know all of parents out there probably have the same fears. And I think throughout this book, I just tried to give myself as much grace as I could. I hope what resonates with people is the perspective. I grew up in a household where my parents were married for 30 years, and when I left for college, they divorced. And so I was angry as a kid, and I questioned, and I did all of these things. Well, fast forward, and I'm going through life, and my husband and I, we got divorced. And the struggles that I had in seeing it from a different perspective and all of the anger and the questions that I had as a kid, I now was staring at myself in the mirror of like, how am I gonna make this better for my daughter? How am I gonna be honest with myself? Who am I gonna become in the process? And I think it's a scary thing when you're going through change and when you're going through a time in your life where you're not sure what your next step is gonna be. But again, I keep going back to this. I think it's about grace. I think it's about honesty. You can't lie to yourself. And oftentimes when we're in situations, sometimes we try to do that. And it's about being real. You can't be something for someone when you're not whole yourself. And throughout this entire book, I just tried to remain true to like little Can and the way the world was before, you know, I started having all of these different feelings and emotions and things like that. So people that are going through difficult changes, whether it's divorce, changing jobs, whatever it is, I would just say, like, again, give yourself grace, but also figure out who you want to be in that process and work backwards. Because a lot of times we know, we're just scared to take the next step. In the future, I love dreaming big. What I would love to do is to be an owner of a WNBA team. I think that there's power in having leadership that has been through the process, that has played in the league for so long, and that really is passionate about the sport, as a lot of my colleagues are and myself. I love being a mom. And so I'm looking forward to, in this stage of life, being able to be at home a little bit more, being able to go see my daughter slam a volleyball and catch my son's first steps walking. So I think I still get the same excitement for that as I did, maybe not hitting game winners or winning championships, but like running up and down the court.